What is a boss rush event? What are the things that we should look out for, and how do we beat this event? Well, I'm going to be going through all of that in today's video, so let's go! Hey everyone, welcome back to another one of my video guides where I share some of my JP experience so that you guys will be more well prepared. And for today's topic, we're going to be touching on the boss rush event that will be dropping in the global server soon. So let's start off by talking about the set of rules and gimmicks during all boss rush events. So what are we expecting for a boss rush event? Alright, so first, you will be able to bring up to 5 parties to a fight that consists of about 3 to 4 waves. The first upcoming boss rush that you guys will be dealing with has 3 waves, so do keep that in mind first. And yes, since you're able to bring up to 5 parties for this event, you can also freely swap to another party by clicking on this button here to party swap whenever you need to. This is useful in some ways, which I will get into it on how it can be used on certain tight situations. BT mode and summon can be used once in a party, and it won't be counted as part of the 50 turn count, a good way to help give you some breathing room. And take note that each time you start a fight with a new party, your summon gauge will reset from 0. And lastly, the same summon and units cannot be used more than once, meaning if you've already used Odin on the first party, the Odin summon cannot be chosen again. Next up, for difficulty, we have the normal mode, hard mode, and very hard mode. Now, this is just how the JP server chooses to name the difficulty, so the name might vary in the global server, which we won't know how the global server are gonna name them until more details are announced. But don't be confused on the difficulty name because they are still your regular Cosmos, Chaos, and Lufenia difficulty. And yes, if you're wondering, there is a Lufenia difficulty for this event as well. And yes, there will be multiple Lufenia op conditions for some waves. But do note that it is for some waves and not all waves, because for the first upcoming boss rush event, only the second and the final wave has a Lufenia op condition. If you guys are interested on what the conditions are, I'll put them in the description box below, or do check out the Tomberry Troops website for more details. Next, take note that bosses that has either or both recast gauge and Lufenia op count will be carried over whenever you swap your party. Meaning if the bosses has say 8 count of Lufenia op left, as you can see over here, this is a footage of me going through the 5th boss rush event, which was held very recently in JP. So now I'm swapping to my second party. As you can see, the op count still remains at 8 on the next incoming party. So it is really important to plan your next move if you know that your current party isn't able to counteract the following wave of bosses' Lufenia op, and you, for sure, don't want your next party to come in with say 1 remaining op count left. That way you're just really setting yourself up for failure, so be very careful on your party planning. Next up, you will not be able to bring a friend unit for this event, very similar to Fiat or aka Dimensions and Entropy in Global. So let's talk about the turn count. See the turn counter on the top right with the number 50 over there? Yup, that is the amount of turns each party is given every time when the battle starts, which is also the amount of turn count your party has left to make their move. So how does the countdown number works? So the countdown reduces by 1 whenever you make a move, be it attacking with skill 1 or skill 2 or EX or LD. Choosing to use a call assist or a LD call assist reduces your turn count as well. So what happens when your turn count reaches 0? Well, you're gonna be setting all of your enemies' HP to 0 for an instant win. Nah, I'm just joking. What? You think that us, the players, have their own Lufenia turn count? Huh? Okay, sorry. Let's get back to topic. So, whenever your party's turn count reaches 0, it gives you an option to switch to your next party unit like so over here. And there you go. That is how you start the battle with the next party. So that is pretty much how the boss rush event operates. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you guys again on the next video. What? You think I'm just gonna be telling you guys how boss rush event works without giving you guys some tips on how to fully utilize your 50 turn count? Of course not! I'm here to help you guys. So smash that like and subscribe button and help me reach 1000 subs! Now, as mentioned earlier, you're able to bring 5 parties into this event. But in order to collect all of the rewards for the first boss rush event, you will need to beat the Lufenia difficulty with 2 parties only. So I believe most of you guys have already read somewhere or heard from some form of word of mouth that often damage units like Farion or Gladio are king in a boss rush event. Well, I'm here to tell you that they are absolutely right. And why is that? Because units that does often damage are potentially dealing damage not just on their turn, but also on the enemy's turn as well. So this is you potentially shaving off precious turn count to meet the 2 party requirements easier. So there is one more tip that I can share with you to make your runs easier, although this tip can't be used yet on the first boss rush event. Okay, let me talk about this second tip so that you guys can be more well prepared for the second boss rush. So that second tip is to bring Gladio for the next upcoming boss rush event with a call assist that helps extend his LD buff. Now, we all know how little turn Gladio's LD buff lasts, so to have his LD buff last longer, okay, that sounded weird. So to have Gladio's LD buff last more turns, okay, that sounded better. That is to bring either Hope or Sars as a call assist to help extend Gladio's LD buff. Now, if I remember correctly, Hope is the second featured unit during the second boss rush event, and that is also when Hope gets his level 80 awakening. And as for Sars, he gets his awakening during Arc 3 Chapter 1 Part 1, which is about a week later after Hope's level 80 awakening. Which is also why this second tip can only be used during the second boss rush event, since Hope and Sars haven't gotten their level 80 awakening yet. But that doesn't mean the 2 party requirement is impossible without often damage units. No, that's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is that often damage units can make the 2 party requirements easier to meet. If you look it up on YouTube, you will still be able to find team comps without often damage units. It's just that for my case, I usually will just try to have a often damage units to make my runs easier. Again, this is not me saying it's impossible to get all rewards if you don't bring a often damage units in before the TCC Extreme Challenge ban all often damage units. Alright, so to recap and summarize on the things we've talked about in this video. 5 parties can be brought in a boss rush event, but a 2 party clear is required for the first boss rush event if you're intending to get all the rewards. 50 turns will be given to us, so do try to make your move count. And I haven't mentioned this earlier, and that is to not hesitate to use more LD skills if needed to. BT mode and summon can be used once in a party and it won't be counted as part of the 50 turn count. And once turn count reaches 0, you will be given the option to swap to another party. Friend support units aren't allowed. Summon gauge will be reset to 0 whenever you bring in a new party. Boss's gauge and Lufenia op count will be carried over whenever you swap to a new party. So that is it. Let me know if I missed out any important tips for this upcoming Boss Rush event. Are you guys excited about the Boss Rush event? I, for one, am always excited for a new Boss Rush event whenever it drops in JP, because this is the one of the few events where it will test our knowledge of forming our team comp to the max. Feel free to drop a comment down below on how you guys will be tackling this event, and until the next video, good luck with all your pools and events, and I'll talk to you guys again on the next video. Bye bye!